Welcome back. WeArEuS, and this particular specimen right here, we like to call Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Now, I'm not sure what I want to do today. As you guys may remember from last episode, well, one of two things really. Last episode we left off in a completely different room, and there may have been dead bodies there. I don't remember. I'm very prolific at killing things. But, well, I don't think that's the way to use that word. I'm a very prolific demon killer, and, well, what are the people that follow demons called? I don't remember the proper term for them. But I also kill the people that, decided to throw their lot in with demons as well. Very prolific at killing demon-related things and people. That aside, you'll notice that there are some dead demons that we didn't see before. And that's because I decided to go wandering around again. This room is actually the one right next to this, which leads all the way to where we got the mythic point. Now, that reminds me, I played that particular part of the game. All right. Anyway, as I was saying, I went back and chose every other option that I could, which led me to a realization. Aureliu isn't responding to what you're doing or what your decision is in the future, which is the present here, but because the event itself took place in the past. She's just saying it in general, which is weird because I genuinely don't remember what our decision was at that point in the story, the very beginning. I don't remember if we... I don't remember if we took the potion or not. Or no, that had him protect us, use the spell on us or not. I don't remember. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is the fact that I don't actually remember. Well, let me get this started while I'm going over this. I don't actually remember. There's not enough room, huh? Right, can't camp in there because the Nalfeshnee. Now, I went with every option just to see. I even played, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I went over every possible option that there was to choose from there. Didn't really change anything. Let me quick save while I'm thinking about it. I don't really remember the entire thing that clearly since I recorded that Saturday, and it's Tuesday now. So you'll forgive me if I've forgotten some of it. Knock. What? I don't have any idea who Krenuk is. Anyway. So I went with every option I had available to me. They didn't really change anything significant. Now, these all seem to be the same buffs that were active before. I would not be surprised if that were the case. I don't see any camping stuff in here. There's no fire or anything. So I couldn't have, right? I'll have to go and check before I get things started. So I'm not going to waste the time buffing. Okay. So, as I said multiple times now, I went back and checked everything, checked all of the other options that I could use with when it came to the book and suture. It didn't really change much. None of the options related to the book really change all that much, at least as far as I'm aware presently. There's some different dialogue, but nothing really interesting. I don't know what the choice actually affects, but I decided to stick with the original decisions I made. I will say, the decision to let suture touch the book, or at least the purple light emanating from the book, seems like it could be a better option than what I chose, which was not to let him anywhere near it. Which I'm actually fine with as well. It's just, you know, I tried once to give a demon the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, she and her idiot of a lover decided to show up again, rather than just go away and keep to themselves. So, I figured, nah, I'm not going to trust any other demon unless I'm given a very, very good reason to. Now, you can kill Suture, but I wouldn't doubt that, what is her name? Aurelu Vorlesh would be able to just resurrect him or put him back together. But killing him isn't even satisfying because he's literally level 1 with 18 HP. Right, so I did continue past. You guys may remember that there was a rift opened. I wonder if I can actually see it from here. There was actually a rift opened, and it should be here. This rift does in fact lead outside, and it's not a trap or anything. I also still haven't taken the book, as you can plainly see here. I don't know if it's a good idea to take I don't know if it's a good idea to take the book or not, but I'm probably going to, since, I mean, it's there. Also, there are some other things, side things to take care of out there as well. I did all of that just to see if any of the choices made here had any effects on the immediate future, but not from what I could tell. Now, as for what I'm going to do right now, that is something of a problem. As you guys well know, there's a Nalfeshnee past this door. Well, you'll know if you watched the previous episode. That guy's a bad dude. It's really tough. And it's not necessarily him, but some of the spells he casts on himself and the Colaxin Marauder. Those guys are issues. So, instead, what we're going to do is, now that I've spent the mythic points for everyone, I'm going to go and try and fight him again. I'm only going to spend 1 hour trying to do it, though. The strategies I can utilize are very, very limited. So I have to be extremely careful. Well, I have to be extremely careful, but extremely aggressive as well. Allowing that guy to live multiple turns will be the end of us. So, as far as the mythic points that I spent, I gave Sela, Regil, and Greybor the ability to resist all forms of crowd control for free 3 times a day. It sucks because they need more than that, but that's just how it is. I can make that work, however, so there is that at the very least. But the strategy itself that I'm going to use is going to change according to how I failed last time, how rolls shake out when we take action. Anyway, I'm only going to spend 1 hour on it because I could literally spend all day just trying to kill this guy and be absolutely happy with it. But I also have work to do. I have a video to record. So, again, I'm just going to record this first hour of me trying to kill the Nalfeshnee. I'm not going to be doing much talking. If it proves necessary or reasonable, while I'm going over a strategy in my head, I may consider explaining it to you guys. But for the most part, I'm just going to be focusing on the killing, really. Or dying, whichever takes place as it takes place. Right. Also for... I don't remember what I gave him or this guy. I really don't. So, the other thing... The one thing of interest, though, is that Morrow got, frankly, he got a really, really nice upgrade. Now he's back to having more health than Sela again. Anyway, he got a really nice upgrade with his mythic path points. And that I gave him, he had access to a superpower with this particular level up. And I gave him life bonding friendship, which allows me to choose one teamwork feat during this and the next mythic rank up, which allows him to share the effects of any teamwork feats he has with allies in a 50-foot area. 50 feet is massive. Furthermore, he inspires them so much that when their HP drops below 0, they can continue to fight. Wait, hold on. They can continue to fight even though they are considered dead for all effects, and can be cured by Breath of Life or similar spells as per the spell description. After the encounter, or upon receiving a total number of attacks equal to the Azada's Charisma ability modifier, which in this case is 7, the allies in this state fall dead. If all of Morrow's allies die that way, though, he dies too, which is fine because he's going to die regardless if everyone else dies. He's not particularly useful on his own, or frankly even in a group, but that's neither here nor there, and there's nothing I can do about that now. For a split second there, I considered trying to replace him with a mercenary from Helor, but then I realized he's the main character I'm actually controlling, and not having him in the party doesn't, 1, it doesn't work, and 2, would make sense. Anyway, so I've chosen this, but I think I still have the save where it's a hard save, where I haven't spent his mythic point yet. Pretty sure I have another save before I've spent anyone's mythic points, really. So, if this turns out to not work, or I just don't like the way life bonding friendship shakes out as far as this upcoming boss fight is concerned, I can always change it. But for now, that's enough talk. I've been at this for about 16 minutes now. So, I'm going to go back and load the save just to see if everyone's actually rested or not. Because if so, I don't need to do it again. Anyway, in just a little bit, I'll be going to fight the Nalfeshnee. Wish me luck.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
I will not falter.
Retreat is not an option. Simply business. one's mine!
You're in my way.
attack!
Simply business.
Into the fray!
You are nothing before me.
I welcome your company.
No reason to pause.
pleasantries.
So, that went about... No, that went way better than I had any reason to expect it would. I mean, surely you guys saw what I saw, right? Like, I summoned all of the medium water elementals that Morrow could possibly summon. Every single last one of them. All but one of the large elementals. He failed to overcome the he failed to overcome the 5% chance to fail an arcane spell cast. So I lost one of them. So I only had 3 on the field, as you saw. I cast every... Okay, I'm trying not to let my excitement get ahead of me. I cast every single spell, used every single relevant potion and scroll that I had in my inventory to give everyone buffs. Oh, yeah, she needs some
The waiting is
TLC.
never fun.
So I used everything I had in my inventory to give everyone all sorts of assorted buffs outside of what the team already has available to them. Okay, that's just silly. It basically was... I basically used the same amount of preparation I would have for any other fight. He took no energy damage whatsoever. But he hit Sealer so many times for ability score damage. Or did he hit someone else? Yeah, she has some missing. That's it. Really? Okay, so I was using scrolls with Ivu because she can actually use scrolls on her own. Like pretty much all of them, and then some of them with difficulty checks that she has to pass. The thing is, some of them didn't work. Ones like, what was it specifically? Things like Divine Favor. I used the Divine Favor scroll on her. Do I have... Yeah, I have another one. See, I used this scroll on her, but it's not active. And you can see that this is one of the ones that she can actually use herself. As you can see at the top, can be used by this character. She passes the difficulty checks, or there just aren't any associated with this one. Regardless, she can use it, but when I used it on her, as you can see for the 3rd time now, it's not among her buffs on this list. I didn't notice that at first. I only noticed it when we actually got into the fight itself, where she actually learned the spell spontaneously, no less, as you can see here. She now has Remove Fear, Cure Light Wounds, and Remove Sickness. I only had her use the Divine Divine Favor scroll, and it led to her being able to cast spells at this level. She's also level 15, whereas everyone else is level 10. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but she didn't have these before we went into the fight. I'm almost certain. I can go back and check, but I'm almost certain that she didn't have these before. As a matter of fact, can we go back to where... Dang it. So, while I'm looking for this, the fight was hundreds of times easier than it was before. I don't know what was different here. Well, first of all, we had a small army against these guys. I also summoned the freaking axiomatic something or other. Anyway, for starters, Greybore is equipped with 2 speed weapons, so he gets an extra attack with each weapon for a total of 6 hits per turn. Of course, both of these weapons are one-handed, so his chances of actually landing hits is significantly lower due to the -4 penalty -4 penalty on attack rolls for each swing of each weapon. I don't know if it's higher for the second-hand weapon, but secondary. Well, maybe I know, but I don't remember. Either way, despite that, when he did land hits on the Nalfeshnee, he I'm pretty sure I saw a 70-something that wasn't even a crit. Maybe it was a crit, but I didn't see the words critical hit, so maybe not. Either way, despite the Nalfeshnee's fiery aura or fiery body spell, I decided I would have the primary attackers aside from Seela go after the Nalfeshnee, as you could see during the actual fight before things became harder to see. Still, we somehow managed to pull it out, and I don't exactly know how. Granted, it only had about 350 HP, so it's not like it was a tank or anything. If it had about 600 AP or HP, I might have actually been worried, or we'd probably still be fighting it right now. As you saw, its the stinking cloud and its unholy nimbus disabled a good number of our summons, but that was the entire point. I wanted it distracted by them. So I summoned in its face the summons that come from this mug, just so there wouldn't be any issues. I also used this to try and distract them. Field of Flowers allows me to create a 30-foot area of blossoming flowers. They entangle and calm enemies, and they have to pass a reflex saving throw. They try to pass a saving throw each round while they're in the area. If they fail it the first time, they're distracted by the flowers. Now, apparently once they become distracted, they instantly become destructed enemies, according to the description here, and they receive a -2 penalty on attack and damage. If they fail it again, they become staggered. The third time, they fall asleep for 1 to 4 rounds. And this only affects enemies, so I can cast it under my allies for free. And it's a pretty huge area. Now, the mythic superpower that we got didn't actually take effect, because I spread them out, as you saw. There were some over here, Morrow's all the way over here. So some of the people here and here didn't actually gain any of the effect of his superpower, which is fine because it didn't actually come into play. Nobody went down. Nobody even took significant damage, which is interesting. I mean, there were hits taken, but the frontliners just between Regil and Greybore, the Nalfeshnee, wait, he only had 250? He used to have 300. I'm sure he had 300 HP before. None of his stats are as high as I remember them being. Okay, so this is the guy that had the high willpower but low reflexes. Coloxus Defiler. He was a marauder last time I saw. He has 350 HP. Did I really mix up their stats that badly? That seems unlikely, but... all this time I've been talking up this fight and how difficult this boss was. Granted, it was all down to his crowd control and this guy's ability to weaken us, make us more susceptible to his crowd control, but as you saw, the summons took care of the Vrox. I scrolled over it, but I didn't actually look at it, so I remembered it on my own. Anyway, the summons took out the Vrox. I never even looked at the things. They don't really matter. They're level 9. They do nothing to us. Of course, their Screech could stun us, but that's a minor possibility. Anyway, so all this time I've been mixing up the stats between these two who are the actual threats in the room. I think I may have overprepared. I genuinely don't... It was just over so quickly, and before I knew it, his health was so low, and then he was just gone. The summons were working on the Vrock on this side, so they didn't actually get much of an opportunity to start in on the Nalfeshnee. I'm pretty sure it was just, I wasn't paying attention. I was way too in the zone. But I could have sworn, I'm pretty sure only Regil and Greybore were the ones focusing on this guy, and then they just sort of tore him apart like it was nothing. I mean, yeah, we're sort of like overbuffed, and well, that's kind of the point. But yeah, see, they have outflank here, and as a result of the other one. So this is the feat that I gave him, that I gave Morrow to share with his allies. I don't know if the feats you take from the mythic path are the only ones that you can actually share with allies, or if Morrow can learn other ones that he can, well, like as a result of just plain leveling up, and share those feats with his allies as well. Because there were some, I'm pretty sure there were some that were missing from the mythic list. Pretty sure. Regardless, I'm still trying to work through my confusion. The fight was
Godspeed.
way easier than I was expecting it to be. It can't have had anything to do with having reached the book outside of the mythic point that we spent on everyone. I mean, the guy kicked our heads in every single time I fought him, granted. I didn't have him focused first and then work towards the Defiler. Which is weird. I could have sworn he was a Coloxan Marauder. Huh. Okay. So, let me hard save really quickly before I forget. And let's go get our just rewards, I suppose. Given the difficulty, or lack thereof, of that fight, while I'm disappointed, this, at the same time, feels fair. Well, oh, wait. Wait, I can open the thing first. I'm at a loss for words here. You'll have to forgive me. I can actually change Morrow to...
I will not falter.
Also, as part of his mythic level, I gave him the ability to not only maintain or use his wild shapes as often as he wants, but anytime he's polymorphed, he's also going to gain a +4 to the stats that the shape increases. So he may actually be able to go out there and do damage. I'm still waiting for the level up that allows me access to feats so I can pick up the ability for him to cast spells while polymorphed. That's going to make him tremendously more useful. Of course, casting spells while in melee range or being threatened by an enemy is unwise. We can still do that, if necessary. For now, we'll take that so it stops making noise. And then, where is... Well, we can do it this way. Is this the right way? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm really at a loss for words. I was expecting to have to spend at least an hour on that fight, losing, no less. Where the frick is Seela? There she is. Also, you can see that I buffed her horse so that it's, you know, massive now. He still didn't do any damage, but it made him a lot harder to kill. And that's half the battle. Actually, I do want to see his armor class, given his size. His armor class right now is 39, and they still don't have the feat for Seela that adds her shield, even though she's not currently equipped with it, or wielding it, I should say, which would add the shield's armor class to Mr. Ed's. As things stand, Mr. Ed is a hard target to kill. Spells will just ruin it, but weapon attacks? Oh, honey, no. Well, weapon, natural attacks, anything that requires checking against his armor class It's going to be a bit of a nightmare to hit him with. Anyway, let's get these people out of here. I unsealed the way out. You are free. Free? Then let's leave here at once. May the light of Iomade be with you. And it's basically as simple as that. I don't think there's anywhere else to use the key that we have. Checked all the loot. I've looted all the bodies. All the things are dead. Wait, there is another... That's not a door. I'll actually have Seela come this way since she moves the fastest. I'm still wondering about... Ivu. I don't know if the spell I tried to get her to learn, she actually learned. I mean, the spell I tried to use on her via the scroll is one she actually just learned, or if she already had them available or something. I mean, I didn't really get anything out of her mythic points, so maybe she did just learn these spells and I didn't.
Retreat is not an option.
I typically have no reason to actually click on her because she doesn't have any other abilities aside from the dragon breath. Have I checked everything? Yeah, we've already seen those on this one. That's where we came in. Yeah. But now Nalfeshnee didn't have anything on it like I was expecting it to. I know it may seem like I'm dragging this out, but I'm trying to be as thorough as possible. I don't want to miss anything. So, this takes us back here. And then the exit is right over here. And now there's a way out of here, straight this way. I thought I took these off the Meriliths were the little half-snake things in the room where we started the video. In case you're wondering about them and intending to fight them on your own playthrough, kill them first. Whatever you do, kill them first. God dang it. So, for now, what is this? Oh yeah. For now, the only way back... What is this? I don't know where that came from. Anyway. The only way back is to use this. And now we're home. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I should actually be ending the video here, but I think I will. I'm still deeply confused and disturbed about the fight with the Nalfeshnee. Everything feels wrong. Give me some time to get my head wrapped around it. Hopefully, I'll be in a better spot when we get back tomorrow. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. I don't know how I'm going to cut this up because, frankly, the fight itself did not last any amount of time. Like, at all. I actually have to go to the court of tomorrow now that I'm thinking about it. The fight didn't last any amount of time, and I don't really know if there's anything actually left of value for the video. What I mean is, I don't know if I can't afford to rest right now, since I want to check the Crusade stuff first. Make sure we're not skipping out on an extra day of progress on something of value. The fight couldn't have lasted more than an hour. I mean, more than 30 minutes. I literally spent an hour of that time. Nope, maybe not an hour. About 20 to 30 minutes just getting buffed and getting summons out on the field for the fight. I'm just so disillusioned. I was expecting to struggle at least a couple of times before pulling something out of just thin air. Anyway, the reason why we're here is to talk to the 3 people that sent us there in the first place. Still, I think he's been away too long. I've tried to trace the teleportation twice and failed. And surely you don't mean that we teleported Mara, the champion of the gods, the Crusaders' Knight Commander, and our friend to a random point in space, with no way of even knowing exactly where. Ilkes is clearly beginning to panic. I don't like either of these because, yeah, it was a little stupid to let them just teleport us without knowing where we'd end up, but that's more on me than on them. I could have just said no. This, however, this is stupid. I don't like this. But if I call them dimwits, that's wrong. At the very least, it's not fair. And that's exactly what you did. And it was an adventure. I'll say that at least. Morrow, you're back. What was it like? Was it beautiful? Naturally, Aranka asks with bated breath as her friends erupt in cheers and whoops of jubilation. This one gets us extra XP, so that's the only reason I'm actually going to choose. I would have gone here as well, but again, I'm doing this for the XP. The ritual brought me to Aureliu Vorlesh's laboratory where she kept her prisoners. I tried to help them. Aranka's eyes widen. But we never even considered that. We never thought your soul could be calling you to a place of corruption and suffering instead of beauty. We never thought that could be your mission. Incredible, we've got to try again. Thal the Wallflower takes a deep breath to speak and says with all the determination he can muster, "No way. I'm not teleporting our friend to an unknown destination ever again. We'll try once more if we improve the ritual to make it more predictable. But to be honest, I'm not sure it can be done." So, also, there are... Right. These are treants. Treants? Trance? Nah, it's treants. Anyway, this was Crusader stuff that I cut out of the video. Rightfully so, because as interesting as it is, it's dull to watch. Oh, right. And then there's the whole thing about putting stuff in the ground. Let's get... Okay, since I've already actually done this, I'm not going to drag you guys through that. I already started the outro for the video and everything, and somehow ended up adding another 10-ish minutes to it. Whoops. But I will tell you what's going to happen here. These two are arguing about what to make with the stuff that gets planted into the ground here and changed. It either becomes something edible or something that can be used to paint with. I went with the painting previously. Now, the other option via the sculptor is a statue that people can eat. I like that. It'd make a great impression, but then it's gone. You see what the dilemma is here. It's a great idea, incredible, to have an edible statue made of stuff that's been planted in the ground here and then transformed through the power that's in the earth or whatever now. I like the idea, I really do. It's frankly far better than a mural, but once it's been eaten, then what? Then there's sort of no evidence that anything wild and wacky happened here. So I went with the mural, which I'm going to do again. But in order to do that, I have to go over here and start throwing stuff into a pile of dirt and then waiting for it to transform. Thankfully, it's instantaneous. Otherwise, that would be more than a little annoying. Anyway, again, I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and the frankly rather pitiful boss fight. Granted, the guy was... It's not like he was powerful. He was just really annoying to fight. The crowd control, the buffs he put on himself made fighting him a nightmare. And yet, technically, I don't really count the Vrox as even having been there because they were level 9, died pretty much instantly. He was the first to die. Heck, the Coloxus Defiler, well, I'm not going to go over the Marauder thing again, was actually harder to kill. Granted, because he was invisible, and thus was getting the concealment bonus and making people miss, but surprisingly, Sela managed to dispel that effect from him, so he died shortly thereafter. Forgive me, I'm still just really disillusioned about the whole thing. So, for the third and final time, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back tomorrow with another episode, and hopefully I will be back to normal and less frightened and confused than I currently am. And so with all that said, we will see you next time.